Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Dark Depths. You might notice Chris is missing, so I'll be acting as moderator, of course, joined by Tyler Norris as normal, and
Hi.
special guest David Hartley. How are you doing tonight?
Hey guys, doing good. It's quite late.
Yeah, it's
What time
3
is
a.m.
it?
for you, right?
Yeah, 3 a.m.
I'm so sorry.
You don't have anything else better to do, right?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Oh, then everything's fine.
Yep.
So, David, I have to imagine everyone that is watching this will know who you are, but how about you give us a quick
No,
introduction
I doubt
for those that might not be aware?
I'm David. I'm from the UK. I played the game when it first came out before any Americans did, so back in 2014.
Casual brags.
Yeah, I was first. Yeah, so Matt, you can't talk when you say, "Oh, I started in February," but yeah, and then I've been to both World Championships because there's not many good players to beat in the UK. So the first one, which no Americans went to, which was a lot better than the second because there was Americans in the second. It was awful.
Sorry, they made it more
I'm
difficult
joking,
for
I'm joking.
you.
It's great. It's great. But this year, I'm hoping to come to. Well, I'm going to be coming to America and winning my levels. So get ready, guys.
Oh, when are you coming in? You were breaking up a little bit.
I'm going to come over for Richmond
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
hopefully Cali as well.
Nice. A little tour of the U.S. as well.
Have you been to America before?
Never.
Oh,
You're going to take
Fun.
advantage of me, and I don't like that.
I don't even know if I can even go to Richmond.
What?
Luxburger, you will find a way.
I realized that like one of the greatest excuses to go hang out with David Hartley will be there, but I don't even know if it's even feasible for me right now. Well, I'll try though.
Should do. Should make it. Matt's going to be there. Can't
I'll-
be lesser than that.
I'll be going to a few of them, I suppose. I hear that's a thing.
Oh, also tonight I will be doing a box. So if I pull anything great, you'll just see me be like,
Holds up the card. Look at this! I got a shiny!
if you hear wrestling, I apologize.
Crinkle, 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 crinkle. So I'll be trying to watch the chat for any questions that come in, but based on how that last thread went, probably one of the first things we can start talking about tonight is the abusability that Reflect has and being able to untap something twice at end of turn. I realize, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a 2-card combo, yada yada yada. Dies of Thunder, guess what? It dies removal is never a good, counter argument to something.
Dies to Doomblade.
But basically, for those that aren't aware, Reflect's end of phase untap ability, you can set up to where you play it once on your turn after the ability would have normally triggered, and then once on your opponent's turn during their end phase. Well, you do it in main or any time before that trigger happens, and then you can effectively tap Elvish Priest 3 times at the end of their turn to float win, and cast a Feast Sing. So going into your turn 2, it has you with a ready Priest, a ready Feast Sing, and 2 stones. So to put this into context, that means you can do things like a turn 2 Book of Genesis, which if anyone has ever resolved that spell, is insane to play on turn 2.
Shut up, Derek Paul.
And just for another instance, is you can have Elvish Oracle, which has been my favorite turn 2 play, simply because you can flash it in still, you get the counter, and you're countering literally any big play that they try to make on turn 2. Been able to counter a Lancelot before, done quite a few things that have been not what Force of Will was going for.
Yeah, it's a bit of a loophole which we are going to exploit, which we shouldn't be doing.
I mean, well, if it causes them to like maybe tweak a priority sequence in it for the health of the game, I mean, I'm fine with it being exploited. It's just going to be one of those things where it's like, do you see the problem here? What do you think?
One of the discussion points I had with certain members from Force of Will is that it would be changed to where Reflect's ability can only be used on your turn. So
That would limit it quite a lot.
Holy shit,
Yes.
that would...
However,
holy nerf bat.
I mean,
They're just slightly edit the CR, to be honest. But
let's
Yeah.
be realistic about their options here. They will not change the CR. As far as the CR is concerned, it's working 100% as intended from that perspective. But
Right.
essentially
But-
what happened with this card is that in the way it's been described to me, that in, say, the Japanese culture, or at least how they're playing the game over there, they're not looking for these kind of exploits in their cards. They're not trying to break the game. Where here in America or other
Can't I
places,
just say, like, after because in the step afterwards, so you have the end phase, and it goes, you can't, like, the will gets destroyed, and then you can't do anything else. It checks for anything else, and then the priority step afterwards, you should say, well, you just can't do anything in it. You should just have that 1x, like, difference.
just be done with it completely.
Yeah, it's like, don't have well, you can have a priority step, but you just can't add anything new. So you can resolve the effects, but that's all it should be. Just in the
Sure.
phase.
Just gonna say that I did get a stamped barrier
So you can't
shadows and a regular barrier
think so.
shadows in the same pack.
I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, I think we were talking about this on Tuesday. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday when I was having the discussion with certain individuals, and it came down to nothing's going to happen overnight. Like,
Yeah.
yes, there's a very big broken loophole interaction, but if people aren't abusing it, or maybe people just aren't taking it to tournaments or what have you, then it's not that big of an issue. I can definitely tell you from my very, 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 very limited testing that it is abusable, it does feel insanely broken, and it is something to keep an eye on over the next couple months when we have more bigger events and people are bringing different decks to different metas and seeing what kind of interaction that we're going to be having, especially when it comes to top 8 lists after we have a significant amount of rounds, saying, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds for a tournament.
How does one turn to a Pendragon? Well, you need a priest. You have to do the interaction to get the. Yeah, you have to do the interaction to get the Feith Sing out. You get the Feith Sing out, and then on your turn, you float the will, sack
the things.
you sack the Atom. You sack them for Adam Brawley, get the extra will, and bam, sis, your 5 will. Play your Pendragon, go ham.
And the best part about that is Feith Sing and Adam Broley give you the 2 light will sources that you need.
Yes.
Shout out to JC. I sent him a Turbo Arthur list, as we're calling it, and quite a few games he pulled off the 4-card combo, which I know sounds crazy,
Who's
but
JC?
he works for TCG Player. He's been posting a lot. He's the guy who posted the Peanuts picture in the Force Will group.
Oh, that's okay.
So he's one of the many people I brew for, and he helps refine lists for me and whatnot.
Did you build a deck where you strongly mulligan for those 4-card combos, or is it just, I've somehow got those 4 cards, you'll do the combo? Because I don't think you should be aiming for it.
I mean, in the Turbo Arthur, we didn't know a good way to start, and I'm not sure where it resolves right now, but it is, yes, that's a more aggressively mulliganing for those cards, sure. But on a bigger aspect, there's cards like, people are already playing Elvish Priest and Feith Sing,
Right.
so we're just opening up a new kind of deck building opportunity for people to exploit and people to look into.
Mm-hmm.
And JC actually just gave me another idea. If you do turn 1, Night of the New Moon, is that what the card's called? The Looter Bunny, as I affectionately call it. You can filter that 3 times on end of turn, so draw 3 cards, discard 3 cards.
Oh god, I need to get me some of
Of
those.
him.
Oh, speaking of Adam Broley,
Stamped.
go into turn 2, cast your Elvis Priest, do the double stacks again, and then you can turn 2 Dance of Shadows for a Yamada out of the graveyard, go into your turn 3 with 4 will sources, and then just do like, double Rapid Growth, or anything of that nature. So congratulations, we actually made another turn 3 Yamada kill deck that's not the deck my team is on, so there, spoiled another turn 3 kill deck for you.
Wow. Everyone's gonna main or side those ones with.
David,
Yeah.
can you repeat that? Your potato was trying to speak for you.
I'll just get side decks for these guys, because you use a hard side against this. If everyone's going to be playing it.
Yeah, it's a thing that I know that people are glad that we're going from a Baja Blast format to everyone's playing Reflect format, but I still don't like the idea that we're going into everyone's playing a turn 3 kill deck in the format.
Don't worry, I'm not. I'm also terrible.
Well, you can probably play, like, again, a
Play
Darkfire
control.
based deck that uses Rapid Decays, Scorn Dark Alice, Unseen Pressure in some very awkward situations.
Man, we
Thunder's
stop
Doing
telling
Flames.
everyone my list. God.
It's there's just a lot of really awkward turn 3 decks that I don't really care to see in the meta, so I'm really waiting to see like which decks people are going to be bringing to major events.
I think as long as the format doesn't turn into a dice roll format, like if you win the dice, you have an 80% chance of winning. I'd be happy if that doesn't happen.
It's kind of that already in the initial stages, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah, but I mean, once the format gets more defined, small players are going to like be main decking out, so then these turn 3 kills aren't as consistent.
Right.
I mean, David. I mean, you playing in the Valhalla format, you had to deal. You had to deal with it. You had to deal with the dice roll, didn't you?
After a certain point, after the format was solved, it turned into a bit where
Loki.
everyone ended up playing black-green Loki control, which was super. It's like playing Goat format in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like you have all these busted cards, but it's very high intense skill level. But there are some bullshit decks, like you can play Urshwa Rush, which is it gets everything swiftness.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you won the dice roll playing Ushua, I mean, wasn't your like win rate just kind of insanely high?
But I mean, there were a lot of counters. Like there's this card called I think Heathlon or something like that. It's a goat which just gives you 800 life points. It's like playing Healbot from Hearthstone. That was a 2-drop, and then you could trade with you guys. But yeah, there's loads of cool things in Valhalla which we shouldn't talk about.
Those were dark times indeed.
Well, that's why I was just curious. Yeah, because I mean, it's really good that you were on the show so that we could like try and like draw a comparison to like what's some absolutely terrible things that were part of the game. Like, I think anyone that has looked at the deck or has played the deck agrees that black-green Loki control was just like play that or kind of lose.
Yeah,
play that or win the dice roll.
I ended up playing up a burn deck in that format.
Yep, water, fire, burn.
Like literally, it was 90% of the cards dealt over 400 damage to the opponent, and it's great. And you play Kronos, so you get 2 draws, and then you play the standbys, which pretty much are like Wabuku or Threatening Roar from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it goes, your opponent can't attack this turn, or you take no damage this turn. So you just burn slow. It's great. The sets, they have cards like Cake Zone.
Let's see. DP Grimm. I do agree that I think that Alice's Pursuit is not going to be the best card, but I think that it's going to be a viable card that it could, depending on how Nats goes, it could start seeing some main deck play. If people are like able to somehow consistently get out these large drops, I think that it's completely plausible for people to start main decking like a 2 of Alice's Pursuit or something like that. Oh, I pulled an Excalibur. I'm gonna go like jump off a cliff.
I pulled like 6 hollows of those and like 1 hollow orb illusion.
Oh, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry. Oh, just so everyone knows, David opened 5 boxes and didn't pull a Reflect and Refrain, so he had to buy one. Rip. I'm sorry.
Disgusting.
I would have been very disgusted as well.
I mean, they weren't from the same case, so that's probably why. I just had bad luck.
You should have just demanded a case.
Or you just be like me, get a case, get a foil super rare pack, not stand, and just hate everything.
That was the thing, because I entered a winner box, and this is one of the boxes I opened. So I won the box, which was the best prize, and then the person who came last pulls an Uber.
Who is the guy on the left? I don't know about your screen, Skylight Fire, but
is it me? It's probably me.
The one in the cursed shirt is Tyler Norris. I've been on every episode. If you don't know me by now, I'm really sorry that I've done a poor job of telling you who I am. And the other one is David Hartley, a special guest from the UK.
I'm in the middle. I was checks.
On mine, you're on the left. So you know what? You're on the left.
Alright, well, I tried bringing down the little boxes, but they are terribly, terribly small, and I never remember writing little text boxes because we do this bi-weekly, and that takes too long for me to remember.
I want Chris back.
He is currently on his deathbed.
Everyone, please send out your get wells to our host, Chris. He is currently stricken with strep throat, which is why he isn't with us tonight. And I did miss one episode, TCC 710. Yeah, so shout outs to him. Okay, I did pull a Dark Alice. So Matt,
Oh
according to
man,
your
if you pull a Stamp Valentina, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind.
okay, so because Matt and some Italian players did some mapping of boxes, and according to the insert that I got,
Oh,
which was a Sylvia insert, I should pull a Dark Alice and a Stamped Valentina in this box, and so far I hit the Dark Alice. So we're just gonna keep our eye out to see how it goes. I don't want to Stamped Valentina. I hope you're wrong.
I'm gonna go to my store tomorrow and buy some boxes if this is true. Apparently,
No, you're going to unseal them, break the seal on all of them, check for insert, close it back up, and push it away.
no, not this one.
Oh no, that one doesn't look like it's my style. I want that one over there.
I don't know. The thing is, based on the information that one of the Italian players sent me, I matched it back to what I opened and what I know I opened for a few other people, and it didn't match up. But maybe I just got those odd couple of cases.
But if this mapping is like shows to be kind of correct, that's not good in my opinion. Like that's
No,
like,
it's not at all.
I did finish my playset though of Fairies Memoria, so huzzah!
Shout out to Stamp Stones.
a bit on the box thing where, like, when CMF and TIT came out, you did not know what you were going to get in a box. Like, you had a rough idea that you get X amount of stones, X amount of super rares, but you didn't know which ones.
Yeah.
Like, one box you might get 3 treasure cats, or another one you might just get, like, 0 and end up with Humpty Dumpties out your ass, which is awful. But now they've changed it, and you pretty much guarantee a set card list when you open a box. So
I mean, especially if this if this is right, it's like I'm tempted to send a message and be like, "Yo, this is like insanely mapped."
Yeah, because with the second print of the first couple of sets, they changed it where you get at least one of every super rare.
Yep, I do remember that being a thing too. And you know, these rumors basically keep coming up that Forceville wants to treat it more like a living card game in the sense that everything is super accessible to all the players. It doesn't take a lot of money to get your play sets of each set that they release if that's the route that you want to go. And if they're doing this kind of mapping for the boxes, then that would 100% hold true, which would be very, very interesting theory. So I wonder if they're going to keep doing the box inserts and what that might mean for future sets and
I mean, if it's mappable,
what direction that's going to go.
If it's mappable, that would be so disappointing though to know what you're gonna pull out of your box just by seeing the insert.
The thing is, at least they're always sealed, so you don't know till you open the box. So at least from a store
surprise!
seller
Your
perspective,
box sucks dick. Also,
well, that sucks, but you know, at least from the store perspective, they're still covered because you can't like open the box and be like, oh, I don't want this one, even though I already cracked the seal.
Right. So Matt, I did just pull a card that I don't know if you want to talk about tonight, but I did just pull a Guinevere. So
my life tilt is so real. Can we not?
I missed this. I have a rough idea what happened. Would you like to?
So basically, Flame Sprite is being regarded by a lot of people as being the best current one drop in the game, and Guinevere's taken the number 2 slot, and that was a pretty big discussion earlier today. It was it blew up on the Facebook group if you missed it, David, while you were doing whatever it is you do during the day.
Yeah, British things like
Drinking tea. Okay, I now know. It's like, don't bother me at 11 a.m. drinking tea. Got it.
But on Netflix, it was good.
But yeah, actually, like, alone.
Yep, in this dark house.
But yeah, that was basically it. It's just like a big thread talking about the top 1 drops in the game. Anyways, Matt, what was the next thing you wanted to talk about?
No, I'll say, if you want to take the lead on this Guinevere discussion, be my guest, because it's probably something we should bring up, too. I don't think I can get into it without having an absolute fit of rage.
I've not really looked into this yet.
Well, basically, like, a lot of... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, the discussion was about how Gwen is taking a backseat now and putting decks out and doing her job. So
yeah.
it's doing the deck spinning, which Gwen would do.
Right.
That's the main point where people are saying it's not as good as it was before.
Yeah, a lot of people are, well, a decent portion of people are thinking is that just because, like, as of right now until I think after Nats when we see what decks place, the decks are currently that are like just like out there are really, really fast. So ending on sometimes on turn 3, a lot of times on turn 4 if they don't run into the proper removal. And so it's not giving the benefits that Gwyn has of like getting towards like that turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, where you can like knowing that the game's going to go a little bit longer, so you have more time to dig. That was like the main point of the whole thread was that since we have less time, the swinging flyer is great. Yeah, it's not proactive.
It's not proactive, but the 1-drop fairy thing. Because if you play Gwen Egg on turn 2, you're pretty much just passing turn. You're not advancing anything. You're just going to get more.
You lost the game at that point, to be blunt.
Well,
if you've gone second and your opponent on their turn 2 has played their Lancelot, and then you reply with Gwen Egg, it's not dealing with anything. It's just let them build up their own board.
Right.
So yeah, long story short, folks, when a game's ending, turn 3. Sometimes, turn 4, almost always. She's just not a good card. So, and everyone's counteracting with ARG Vegas, lists. A lot of them were playing Gwyn. Well, congratulations. People literally took the decks from the last format, swapped it for Reflect, and they were able to top, like, it was probably a 20-man event. Nobody is surprised. Absolutely nobody.
I think it was 28 in Vegas. I know it was 20 in Atlanta. I think it was 28.
Okay.
But,
relatively very small for this game.
I didn't see who took first in Vegas.
In Vegas, was it the Stevens deck thing?
Yeah,
I didn't see the name.
I'm pretty sure it was the Stevens deck thing.
Yeah, but whatever. Wait, was his name actually Steven?
Yeah, his name was Steven.
Well, Steven, shout out to Steven. Congrats on taking your first place, and of course, basically the equivalent to Valentina 2.0. In real life, Zach Tufford, congrats on also taking first at another ARG event.
Yep. And shout out to Robert Boyjan, though. Never can say his last name right. Sorry.
Just call him Bobby B.
For those that don't know, he's pretty much a world-class Yu-Gi-Oh player. Got third in WGP California last season.
He's a world-class card player.
Yeah, the guy's actually insane. And the biggest takeaway from actually the ARG Vegas was his list and the incorporation of Gwyn into what would be a proper mid-range deck that wants to use Gwyn the way it does. And I really, really, really appreciated the fact that he had 3 Yogg's main to counter A, the Alice's decks, and then B, the aggressive fairy decks. And the ARG event was either on Saturday or Sunday, so right after the event dropped, not a lot of people had time to brew or do new decks. And here he comes with a pretty spicy brew that I definitely appreciated. So shout out to Robert again for coming through.
I've not seen this list.
It was
the same event which Steven.
Yes, it was like I think it finished like 7th, and like in the terms that the deck lists are order, I think it's like the 7th one. Like it's a red-black Cthulhu deck, but he also had stuff like what's that Holy Wolf called? Whatever the Destroy It enchantment is.
Blessed.
Yeah, Blessed Holy Wolf, or whatever. And we was playing Reflect with Memoria, so you have the color options and all that jazz. But a very, very heavy Incarnation build, which is something you have to do when the format speeds up. You have to look for these free plays that you can make, quote-unquote free plays, so you can really maximize your turn to get the most value out of them. So, again, can't stress enough how that is one list I would very strongly be looking at to go forward from.
Yeah, we'll see. The thing about Robert Boyajian is he's actually a really interesting guy to talk to. Because I did get to speak with him a decent portion when I was in Japan with him. And
that's the first time I met him as well. It was quite nice.
In the conversation, and one of the defining conversations that I got to have with him is he said that one of his favorite things to do is to go to some like decently competitive event, never play never have played the card game before, and sit down and play whatever the top tier deck is. They just borrow the deck from whoever because he has lots of connections to within Core TCG, and just play the deck and see how well he can do. And the dude's kind of just good enough that he can make top 8. He's just very
consistently.
He's just a good card player, and so good on you, Robert Boyage.
If you get the chance, you should look up his Electrum OTK tournament report from one of his Yu-Gi-Oh events. It's the funniest shit ever.
Okay, so Matt, last pack. I haven't pulled the stamped Valentina.
Wait, but you haven't pulled a stamped ruler either then, you mean, yet, right?
Yes, I haven't pulled a stamped ruler yet.
There's some boxes which didn't get, like, 2 rulers, right?
If this is a 1 ruler box, yes.
Alright, open the pack. You're keeping everyone waiting. Let's open this pack. Let's go.
Oh my god. I don't see David clamoring for it.
Anytime, man.
It's a ruler.
Oh boy!
Drum roll.
I wonder what he's gonna open.
Oh wow.
Oh jeez, I'm done. I'm done.
Stamp Valentina. Officially mapped on stream. So, for everyone out there,
you data whores.
For you data whores.
All right, hold on. I'll pull up the list again.
All
right, guys, if you want the mapping order, here it is. Whatever time, 30 minutes in.
Do mine first because mine was the Sylvia one, please.
Let me find it in my chat again.
The mapping for the rulers compared to the insert, or is it more detailed than that?
Trying to find the chat. It was just which rulers were in which insert and which one had the God Pack.
Okay.
All right, so starting with Dark Alice, and these again, I'm reading these off as if you have the insert, this is what you open. If you have the Dark Alice insert, you'll open a full art Dark Alice and a normal Sylvia. If you open a Refrain insert, you'll open a full art Refrain and a white Alice, that's Alice Fairy. If you open the 7 Dark Kings, you'll open a Sylvia full art and Refrain. The Sylvia insert is a Valentina full art and Dark Alice, which we open on stream now.
Last for GP Grim.
The Valentina insert is white Alice full art. I hate I used white Alice. Fairy Alice full art and Valentina. Did he not give me the Fairy Alice one?
The Fairy Alice was the God Pack.
And well, that's all he wrote though. The Fairy Alice is confirmed to have God Pack or the Uber Rares.
And I can confirm that in my white Alice, I did pull a God Pack. And what were the rulers you said? The first ruler you said?
For which one?
For the Fairy Alice.
They didn't have one for the Fairy Alice breakdown.
Okay, but I did get my God Pack out of the Fairy Alice one.
So, obviously, I'm not going to... I don't remember opening my God Pack in the Fairy Alice. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure I opened mine in the Dark 7 Kings one. So take this with a grain of salt, but this is appearing to be better than not probability.
There's like the statistics aren't horrible because, I mean, you said before I even started opening it that I statistically were gonna get that, and I pulled both those cards.
Either that, or he's just really good at magic.
Oh, okay. I'll take that
from across America.
So this could be just an Italy thing. This could be a probability thing. And again, from like I talked to Cody, and I've talked to several shop owners or people who opened a lot of product, and I'm 75% certain, 80% certain that all our God Packs were coming from the 7 Kings, 7 Dark Kings, whatever insert one. So that's something to again take with a grain of salt, but that's what they found. At least
in the chat, looks like Judgment TV. I got my God Pack from the 7 Kings one, and in Fest Night, he thinks that he got his Uber from the 7 Dark Kings as well. So the statistics aren't lying completely. There is some mapping in this. Otherwise, it's plausible. So, if you guys want, keep track of if you do get another box. Keep track of what you pull, and maybe we can add some more statistics to it. And then eventually what we can do with this is we can take all this hard data and we can submit it to Force of Will and be like...
We're on to you, Force of Will.
Yeah, it's like we don't know if this was just on purpose or how it was the manufacturing and the distribution of the stuff went.
I think it means that Edgy is a part of the Illuminati somehow.
Oh my god, yeah, right.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
So we can try and fix this for the future packs so that people can't, or so like stores can't, like, I don't know if there's any way for them to do it, but we don't want anyone to be able to find any way to map these boxes. Because it'd be just really bad for the game. So, like, get stuff ahead of time like that.
I mean, it's one of those things that you're also not going to find out until after, X amount of cases are open. So after the initial hype of everyone buying product has happened.
But now that we do know, if you wanted to buy, like, some packs from your locals, and you see the box and it's open and the insert's there, you'd be like, stay away from that box. It's got, like, janky rules inside.
True. I guess there's a point to that. All right, so throw away the inserts, folks. That's the new tip.
Just throw away the insert. We want people to buy the packs.
Make it a secret.
So can you just take that? Just ask your LGS. Can you just take that whole box and, like, throw it in the trash and open a new one? I mean, it'd be great.
So, anyways, now trying to shift away from that unless more questions come in. But David, I know that you're probably, hopefully, have heard some news about some events that are coming your way, either in UK or something you can travel to.
Oh, so I have things. Interesting things. It's like it's weird because months ago, well, I think back in October, the head guys in Italy, they put up a schedule throughout the year when events are going to happen, but they didn't put any specific dates. So they said in February there's going to be an AGP, and in August there's going to be an AGP in Italy. So we've only just found out, like, pretty much yesterday when I've messaged one of the guys, have you got any information about the AGPs in Italy? So there's going to be one on the February, the 20th to the 21st, I think, but it's not been announced yet, and it's not exactly official yet, but that's what I've been secretly told.
Tentatively?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw this out there. That's my birthday weekend, so if anyone can get me to Italy somehow, I'd be forever grateful. Just throwing that out there.
Don't fund my birthday!
There's not too much communication between the countries in Europe. I mean, we do have a guy who's in charge of it all, Cedric Thomas, but
yep.
He's like our Robert, I think, kind of.
Yeah, from my understanding at least.
There's going to be a UK AGP on the 20th of February as well, so that's a bit annoying. So I'm not sure if anything is definite yet either, or if dates are a bit back to front, but at the moment, two events are clashing. Which,
that's like quite poor planning.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this information is correct yet, though, so it's just whatever.
I would like to think that there's like at least a little bit.
There's more. There's more.
Oh, more? Continue.
There's gonna be an event in France. I'm not sure when though, but it's soon.
Oh God.
I just had to use the words. No, it's probably like in May or June or something. I'm not sure. But apart from, well, I think we're just going to get a couple of AGPs. There might be one. I hope there's one in Germany, since they seemed quite promising from when they had their nationals earlier this last month, I think. Because they had a national event which got about 200 players, which is quite nice.
It's just like.
Well, they have a mecca for TCGs always. Actually, on that note, before I forget though, do you know anything about their progression plan? Because for those that don't know, Germany is currently in a CMF through MPR format.
Yeah, they're behind. Yeah, like.
I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but from their nationals, they only had the first 4 sets. Well, we got SKL, literally, like, as their nationals happened,
right,
or something like that. No, yeah. They announced their nationals as we got SKL, and then 2 months later, we're like, no, we're still not going to use SKL because they hadn't got it in German. It wasn't printed in German at that time, I think. But you can get German cards in CMF, TAT, and MOA and NPR, I think.
Yep, it was up to NPR.
I'm kind of feeling for Germany because I want them to get this stuff soon because, I mean, not to say rotation is happening, but I mean, the sets are not going to sell the new stuff will sell.
When they're going to get the new stuff, or what their schedule is on that.
Because I just want people to have new stuff. That's basically my whole thing. I just want them to get it as soon as possible. So hopefully they get it soon. And I want to see a German card market. So.
Oh yeah, the translation for Cake Zone. Yeah. She translates to like what? I can't even remember it. It's like
It was like this
Snap,
long.
Crackle, something.
Yeah, it was the best translation to look at on a card ever. And wait a minute, isn't France also launching this month? Or did that already happen? Or isn't that soon?
What soon?
Wasn't France supposed to have their starting off Force Will as well? Or
Oh,
some other
France
region?
got the same time as
Germany,
the UK
then?
and I don't know. Maybe it might be Spain. I'm not sure. I've not really heard anything.
All right, someone's launching soon too, but that was after Germany. Now I don't remember. China, maybe? I don't know.
That sounds.
Now I'm confused and want to look it up, so don't mind me.
I'm minding extremely. While he's looking it up, David, we asked this at last week. What is your favorite card from the new set?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I'll have to give it a think. I'm probably fitting half the cards now, but if I have a look at the spoilers or the whole set, I'll probably be. I really like Orb of Illusion. Reflect Frame. I just really like the stance arc for it, and also the effects are just pretty insane. Just free cards.
You know, the stamped version of Orb is like.
Oh, no. Okay, my favorite card is Adam Brody. That's
Adam Brody.
Mr. Unfathomable.
This card's insane. Adam Baller is insane. Yeah, the card. I mean, the stamped version looked beautiful. I mean, I just pulled one, and I think it looks just fantastic. And the card is also insane as fuck. Pardon my French, but come on now.
The card is a bit. Doing free things is never a good thing.
Well, I don't even know if we talked to you about that. When they had originally spoiled the art for Embrawley, I was like, Cthulhu. I'm like, it's gonna have Incarnate, and I was talking to the other members of Team Ogre, and I was just like, I want it to be like a really insane creature, like ETB, like draw 2, discard 1 with Incarnate, or something like that. And then I was like, I just want blue to have something absolutely insane. And then they're just like
for every color.
They're like, ugh! And I was like, okay, they went like rainbow on me, so it's not even blue anymore. And I'm like, sure. Well, the most OP or the strongest like blue card ever is in like no blue decks.
Yeah, like it's also good in Green Grim too. Surprisingly,
well, I mean,
the card just goes in almost everything.
Cheshire for free.
Want that.
I mean, it's good. The body is so relevant. I mean, 6/8. You can sacrifice your chumps, get them out on turn 2, and then play another card or save for removal. Like it's a win-win.
Lancelot's, it's great.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna fight you, Lancelot.
You can play it in aggressive decks, burn those tiny little 1-drops which get in your way as well.
And you can even play it in like the controlling decks, like if you're playing like say Fire Dark Alice, you could just throw it in that deck, and you could sack off like a Rasputin and a Flame Sprite, and blow up their guy, and draw and make them lose 400 life, which is relevant. Granted, if they're not playing Reflective Frame, but
the best is playing Cheshire Cats and then stacking it. So then the card which you stacks gets shuffled in, and then you draw more cards. It's great.
Yeah.
Yep. My favorite play from the Jordan versus video. So quick shout out to that. If you guys haven't, if you haven't heard about them yet, Jordan is doing versus videos now for the TCGFOW, I think is the official name of it, YouTube channel. And one of my personal favorite things is that he summoned a Gretel, got the stone for it, had Cheshire Cat in play, incarnated into Adam Broly, used the light, shuffled in Cheshire Cat, top deck Cheshire Cat, because why wouldn't you, and then played Telefairy Tale. I'm like,
what?
I'm like, holy shit, my mind just
how much value you got?
Absolutely, I could not process.
Seems legit.
And yeah, there is someone not playing Reflect Refrain. Believe it or not.
I mean, I have played.
Come back. Who knows?
I mean, I've played the deck. I played Reflect Refrain. I mean, the card's good. I enjoy the card. I enjoy its interactions. But I mean, I also have this thing for Dark Alice. I don't know why, but I love the card. If I actually I think that's the
The
only
card or the artwork?
a mixture of both. I mean, just really appreciate it, and I think it would be the only Uber that I would actually keep. The other ones I would just sell off instantly. But I'm just like, newspaper Alice is like just great. I don't know why. I just enjoy the card.
Oh, the translation was nibble nibble gnaw. Kingston. In German. It's great.
I'm gonna cast your spell with a nibble nibble gnaw. Draw a card. Got a Gretel. How does that make you feel?
There's loads of really cool translations. I've just got like a list of the CMF in German. Let me know.
Fun.
But Google's gonna automatically translate it. Oh, what are you doing, Google?
Tell Google to stop. Stop trying so hard, Google. Matt, did you find what you were looking for?
No, I did not, because the site did not want to load. I think it's the Chinese that is either launching soon or already launched. Chinese language. So yeah, now Force Will is being printed in like 7 languages or something, which is awesome. So I mean, I'm personally excited for having all these new regions that are getting into the game.
Yes, please.
I'm one of those guys.
I don't know what.
If you get like alternate languages in a for some cards, the whole deck has to be the same language. Just like that kind of OCD. So I can't just like have. I mean, having a full play set of, let's say, Japanese Thunders, that's nice to have, but I want the whole deck to be Japanese now. Do you not get that same feeling when you get, like, mixed rarities as well?
Yes, I like all my stuff to be the same.
Matt,
yes?
in the chat, I don't know if you need to do something about that. Anyways, at Lucian for Life, I was going to just ride the train of Dark Fire and Dark Alice just because it seems like the easiest route. But actually, I'm gonna keep those 2 colors, but I'm actually gonna lean towards. I don't know if I'm gonna be splashing blue or going to be putting more blue into the deck, but besides Scorn of Alice, which is my favorite card from the set, Hera is like right next to it, and I'm all about Hera, and I think it's just just the amount of value that you get from just playing the card.
If the format was a bit slower, it would be like 4 of in a lot of decks.
See, yeah,
100%.
See, I'm looking at like playing like 3, just because I don't know if you just because most decks are playing some form of it, and of Regalia.
Yeah, in the Refrain mirror match, if no one was like, if Alice World wasn't at cards and you'd be playing the mid-range kind of mirror matches, then you'd be playing a lot of Heras. Because if one person's got more orbs, it's lopsided.
Yeah.
Unless they're dead by turn 3.
Yeah, thanks Meta. Thank you, red cards.
But, like, I mean, I don't know. And the whole reason why I was leaning towards playing Dark Alice is this has been all the talk about the game ending so quickly. And I want to try and extend the game because it's not that I'm like going against the meta. I mean, in a sense, I am, but I want to just like test the waters to see if it's possible to try and by playing a control deck to get out towards like that turn 6, and by playing Dark Alice, it gives you the option if you're removing cards to just flip her over and go nuts. I mean, Matt can test like how much of a powerhouse.
I think you're playing Dark Alice because you're scared of matching matter, really. You just want to get you're scared of matching matter. That's the reason.
I'm actually scared of me playing Reflect Refrain and all the misplays that I would do because there's no one card.
It took me literally, I think, 3 solid days of playtesting to get to a point to say I think I'm finally, 90% efficient with Reflect Refrain in my Fairies deck.
It took me
like just the
so many misplays.
Just the decision trees that you have to make are insane.
Right.
Has anyone done this yet? Where they mulligan for at least one regalia because you play the Ruler's Memoria, and then as soon as you get you think fine, and then your opponent passes turn, and you're like, okay, auto tap for a stone without playing your regalia first.
That 100% has happened to me.
Yeah, that's happened to me. I did it
really
3
bad.
times in one event. I was lucky enough to not hit the ruler, but then on the last one I did. It's like, lost my game.
Gotcha.
It's like I've just passed turn 1.
At Ridian621, I agree with you. I think Stamped Hera is a beautiful full art card. Full on amazing. I managed to pull one out of one of my boxes, and it was a great stamp card. It was great. But yeah, anyways, what I was saying is, as Matt has played the Dark Alice deck, and he can probably attest to, like, once Dark Alice flips over, how much of a tempo swing she can be, and can be fairly impressive when she J-activates.
Yep. And, I mean, a lot of people are going to say, go Vlad, because that's the best, win condition that never can be answered. But there's a lot to be said about the pseudo board wrath that Dark Alice offers, the removal from the graveyard, and then namely the target attack that she has. If you can build a deck that's lasting past turn 3, turn 4, the decks that want to win before then are completely out of gas at that point. So then, yes, it might be a little bit more grindy, but you can just take complete control of the game at that point. And if you're playing cards like, Rasputin for Gwyn's, or you're playing these cards that can gain back some form of advantage on top of that, then you're going to be coming out way ahead in those games. So
right.
I personally have been wanting to abuse Glepnir and Elizabeth because I love tribal decks. So the next one I'm doing is Shadow. But I really want to see someone do like a Glepnir, Elizabeth, Rapid Growth kind of deck. That's me wanting to live the dream. So we'll see how that brew goes this weekend.
Right. I really like Elizabeth. She's like so weird, but can be strangely insane at times. You know what I mean?
It's a card that is asking to be broken.
Right?
If someone can find a way to set that up and protect that card and actually live till, say, turn 4, turn 5, that card can pretty much end a game on the spot, or at least create a large enough tempo swing where you're not worried about
recovers and gains attack.
Yes, that one. The Shadow Vampire.
It's interesting, bro. There's a lot of removal in the game, so if you're trying to set it up, your opponent's be like, I see what you're doing. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but if your opponent is using removal on an Elizabeth, sure.
Now was my chance with Mephistopheles.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
but the thing is, again, you're playing against those decks that are generally out of a hand by them.
Yeah, so it's a matter of grinding them out to the point where, essentially grinding them out is basically turn 5 and 6. And
what a sad day this is.
Yeah. But oh shit! I also love Dark Faria. Does anyone else like Dark Faria? I just love lifelink on a bot. Just like having lifelink.
I've not even read half these shadow cards.
Oh my god! Okay, so she's dark 500. She gives all shadows +200 except all other, and then you can pay an extra 2 dark, and she can destroy target resonator when she enters the field. And she's lifelink.
Oh yeah.
And so whenever she deals damage,
the new Carmilla basically.
Yeah, so she's Carmilla. Yeah, she's basically Carmilla with gain life whenever she deals damage.
Nice. I think she's quite good.
But damn it, you gotta live to do that awakening.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, for those that did draft or did sealed, it's probably better in draft anyways, but drafting shadows is a lot of fun in limited formats.
I was gonna say
Rizard is broken as shit.
The tribal thing.
Turns out.
Well, yeah, because there's the removal isn't absolutely insane in this set.
No,
it's not insane. So you can randomly just get shadows out, and then it's like, lol, Rizard, or just whatever. It's I still stand behind that. I think this set is the best set ever.
It's one of the more balanced sets, but because everything else isn't balanced, then most of the cards aren't getting played. Once the Grim sets gets rotated, you'll see a lot more cards become playable.
Yes.
Clearly, because you lose a lot of cards, but some of these cards that people don't even know exist at the moment because other decks are just too fast.
I completely agree with you.
And I can't wait because I want to play these fun cards.
At Lucian for Life, Flames or Burn to Cinders. I will always pick Flames over Burn to Cinders every single time because you can't stop the card. It's going to happen. And a lot of rulers have trouble dealing with a Grubalesta into a Flames.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They just... and you can just Grubalesta if you're playing control. You can Grubalesta like say they're J-Ruler or one of their guys, and they have to do something to try and protect it. Otherwise, if it resolves, you're just going to Flames it down. It doesn't... And Flames is just too good. Because, I mean, I do understand, like, I do agree with, like, the synergy that Burn to Cinders has with torching resonators. But at least in, like, the Dark Atlas list that I've been playing, I'm having a lot more Dark Stones, and I don't always have the fire with how fast the games are going. Sure, if I get double Scorch Bales early, it's like I'm casting my Burn to Cinders. But I have never run into a situation where, like, my Flames is bad yet. Flames is always good right now. Because it still kills Lancelot when he gets pumped by the freaking Reflector Frame.
So with Flames of Outworlds, you want it in a lot of matches, but with this new Valentina 2.0, are you happy? Would you still pick your...
I mean, Valentina 2.0 in the Dark Atlas matchup, it's game one. If you can somehow get through it, great. Somehow if you can get through it. That game's game one is going to suck horrible. But in game two, there's a lot of different options that you can, like, open up to, like, you can side in
Hera.
like Hera, or if you're playing the blue, you can play it, or you can side in, like, the Death Sights and the Blazer package, and then was it Shadow Barrier or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah,
you can be like play set of Shadow Barrier, play set of Death Scythe, and a Blazer, and you'd be like, hooray, let's play this game. But I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Reflect's now so prevalent, and everyone's dropping their normal ruler for Reflect. There's not many Blazers around, so 28 Regalia decks might be coming back, but because of Barrier of Shadows, it's got a cap on how well it'll do between events, because if it becomes really good at one event, the next event it'll just die because everyone's going to side for it.
Right.
So I think Brian Liu made a point at how when they were doing a review on the cards, how Barrier of Shadows is actually quite bad since it can only target one deck. But if that deck isn't being played, then no one's going to play beside the card. So then it's the best deck.
As me, in my opinion, in building like a control deck that is going to struggle with J-Rulers coming in like this, is that you just, in my opinion of it, I'm going to side it regardless, because otherwise it's an auto lose. And I'm sorry, traditionally as a tempo player at heart, I love having options. Like, I want to look at my head and be like, okay, I have like 6 different play lines, and I'm probably going to play this wrong, but you know what, screw it, let's do this. And so, Barrier of Shadows, I think, I do agree in a sense that the card doesn't do anything, you know? It doesn't impact the board, which is really all that matters in this game. But against the niche decks where they're going to flip Valentina and just kick your shit in, I want it.
Yeah, at least in our testing, the card does a lot more than anyone is giving it credit for right now, and I fully expect a Valentina 2.0 deck to show up this weekend because I know someone who's playing it, and they're one of the better Forceville players I know. So
also,
we should be seeing Valentina 2.0 this weekend,
right,
unless he randomly switches decks based on this new information, but I doubt it.
What events this weekend? Which ARG?
There's an ARG in not Providence.
Chicago?
No, it's on the East Coast. I'm forgetting, drawing a blank.
Oh, right.
I'm too lazy to check the events.
Also,
somewhere
on the East Coast, whatever. They all drive like across 2 states to play at an event.
Yeah. Also, I just want to do a small shout out actually to Team Tavern, just because what they did at that ARG with Zach with that Reflector Frame Alice build. For all you guys that are building your decks out there and you're looking to find ways to interact with that deck, to try and beat that deck, maybe take a step back. And this is all my opinion, so just take it with a grain of salt. But take a step back. Take a step back, and don't necessarily commit a ton of your sideboard to beating that deck, because what Team Tavern has officially done, which, I mean, they are the best team in the United States, hands down. Great group of guys. They're very good at the game. They're good. Ouch. No.
Their results speak for themselves.
Yeah, the results speak for themselves.
That's just how it is.
What I think they're planning on doing is they played this deck to influence the meta. And I think that they are going to be playing a different deck that interacts really well against it, like Bahamut or something. Like I would not.
I mean,
Baha Blast.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Their recent Source Wheel podcast with Zach and I can't remember the guy's name. Sorry. They were talking about the ARG with Zach won, and it seemed to me that because he had his finals like the week or in between, so he wasn't that prepared. He just pretty much was told his Alice World is kind of cool, just see what you can do with it. And so it seemed more like a test for it, see what the deck can do, really. I mean, I don't really think they were purposely playing this Alice World list just to try and influence the whole meta, since it was just a tiny ARG in the middle of nowhere, pretty much.
Right, but and I mean, it could be that as well. I mean, for all I know, it was exactly just that. Or
it was just having a mess around.
Yeah, or because of, I mean, how popular Zach is in the game with his performing, people are just like, oh, this Zach crushed this event with this deck, and we saw how much hype the deck has gotten. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I played it.
I mean, I would be surprised if you, at Nats, if you sat across from a Team Tavern player and they were playing like Bahamut or something, and you just get rickrolled game one because you couldn't keep up, and they smacked you for like 17 on turn 1.
Well, also as a huge spoiler, Team Tavern is basically Team Aggro, so no one should be surprised if they're playing a Bahamut or aggro-based deck anyways.
I mean,
they are very good at what they do. They play aggro very, very well, and probably better than 90% of the other Force Will players out there. So if you're playing the same exact deck, like same 40-card main deck, they will outplay you. They will play aggro better than you, and they will win.
Yeah,
that is what they're known for.
Yep, I mean, they're extremely tight players. I mean, and a lot of
it's funny
times
that you mentioned that Team Aggro, because the World Grand Prix, which they topped, I think Antin, Brian Liu, and Zach all topped in the Bahamut meta. So
yes.
No wonder they're used to that.
I mean, well, the amount of testing that these guys do. I mean, I've only gotten a small glimpse from talking with some of their members. It's regimented. They do a good job, and I mean they just perform, and that's it. I mean, they're very good at what they do. So.
Yep. I mean, like, I don't think people have quite realized it yet, but I do keep track on every player, or pretty much as many players as I can on Force of Will. And I remember sitting down at the table watching Robert play Brian Liu, and Brian Liu not casting Split for absolutely no reason and losing his flight to Japan. And he's been playing Bahamut ever since the California WGP. So, like, if I think Bahamut, I think Brian Liu, and there's no exception to that, because as far as I know, he's been playing Bahamut since, what was that, May? So he, like, is the Bahamut player in my book. I know there's a few other from the California WGP that were also on Bahamut, like, since then, but Brian Liu has consistently been doing well across multiple events with Bahamut, or I think there was one Melgus event.
He's been doing all the
where he played Melgus, I think. Yeah, so they're definitely a team to watch out for, and there's definitely it's going to be interesting to see what they're bringing coming up with Nats. You know, that's going to be the next. Obviously, ARG events are going to have some kind of influence.
They're only
going
to
be smaller events.
I think Nats will be like
3 guys at Nats, and then some other guys from one of their lower divisions, whatever they do. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask. I can message one of them. I can find out. But I think Nats will be the first event where it's going to be like, this is like what's going to be good. And I think,
how many people are going to be at Nats?
I don't even.
That's a very interesting
because
question.
like the World Grand Prix last year, they got 300-ish, and
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna reach that numbers. I really
no, because you
don't.
have to be qualified, don't you?
Well, you can
You
buy
can buy
your
it,
way in with points.
I think there's going to be a decent. I mean, I hope that there's 300, but I personally would be surprised if there's 300, just because this is the first Nats. The location is a little bit niche. Granted, the players did pick it, if I recall correctly, but
They did.
so I mean, I hope that 300 people make it. I mean, that would be fantastic for the game if a non-force of will like sanctioned event got that kind of turnout. That would only speak to how large the AGPs are going to be this next season.
And something else to take in consideration as well is that this isn't just some other ARG event. This is people who have qualified for nationals all over the world. So let's
all over the world.
Sorry, all over the world, all over the United States. So
America.
throw away
the country that matters.
You can have your fake little trophy, which means nothing.
Hey. Anyways, let's cast aside, let's say, the 10 people or 20 people. It doesn't matter how many people sign up; they buy their way in.
Well, that reminds me. Did you guys ever pick up one of? Well, sorry. Did you ever manage to touch one of the trophies at Worlds?
Oh yeah.
And pick them up.
Dude,
they were like plastic, weren't they?
You got to walk around and do whatever I wanted at that time. So
hey, they look nice. That's the important part.
Hey, they were pretty.
They were nice. But oh yeah, do you know?
I think are you discrediting them because you didn't get one?
No. I'm just thinking how good will the ARG ones be?
I think they're probably going to be like some
they're going to
dope.
Be amazing.
If I know Jim from the ones that I had seen before, I think it's going to be some really like dope glass one, like a big glass one. If I had to guess.
I think it'll be like a Cheshire Cat onesie. That's
it's just
Good lord. Anyways, back to nationals. The important part is it's going to be the best players from around the United States that are getting into this and they're qualifying. So even let's say for whatever ungodly reason they only get 50 players, that's probably some percentage of the top players in the United States that are showing up for this event. So they've been playtesting a lot. They've had a lot of time to look over deck lists. They've been practicing nonstop, and they've had time to refine their lists. So this will be the first opportunity that we have to see what the best players are doing for this national event and finding out what's going to top 8. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what kind of brews come out from that event. And I've had a few really interesting ones shipped my way, so I'm waiting to see what top 8s.
Yeah, and also to the like one thing that I want the non top tier players like have a small sit down with me, with me as a bad player.
Team Ogre rep.
I was like, no, I will openly admit that I have to work hard to be anywhere near the level that some of these players are at. But I encourage, no matter what level of player you are, you should go to this Nats because the best people are going to be there. And if you want to learn anything, it's going to be from playing against the best players. They're going to show you their tight play, not missing their triggers, most efficient ways of playing the game. And I mean, as my personal motto when it comes to trading card games is I would rather lose to the best players than beat a bunch of players that are, for lack of a better term, subpar. I mean, if you guys want real experience against real players to grow as individuals, go to this event. And besides,
not just this event, go to all the events.
Well, yeah, go as many as you can.
To the AGPs and whatnot. Sorry, I'm just dying laughing to myself because some of these the questions that I have to answer for people who went to Worlds. Let's just throw that out there. Like how do standbys work and stuff like that just absolutely blows my mind. But
wait, so people asked you that if you went to Worlds.
Yes, 100%.
Can you drop names?
That's a real question. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus on this one.
I can.
But that tier of questions is something that I get constantly asked from people who have either top-aided WGPs of Season 1 and or went to Worlds.
Yeah, remember, they're not judges. They're not perfect with the rules. Everyone makes mistakes.
Even
I know. I'm just gonna. This is my casual once-a-show reminder. Everyone should take the time to read the CR and read the other Force of Will official documentations to become a better player.
You should get like a little ad, which you can little animation for that.
Yep. Ding.
Every now and again.
I really wished, if everyone just read the CR once, I would probably get about 50 to 100 less messages a day. and I would really appreciate
I would wager that there would be more because then they would have more questions about interactions within the CR. And you'd be like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
what have I
God.
done?"
Hated ones.
You get like
I'll
hard
be at
questions.
locals. I will sit my phone on the table, screen side up. I will play a match, and the screen will not turn off from notifications for that entire match.
I actually
What you
went
should
to
do
dinner. Actually,
is you
went
should
to
make
dinner.
your own like phone number where they could ring you for rulings, but when they ring you, it costs them money. So you could.
In.
Well, see, I actually got to go to dinner with Matt a bunch of times for the WGPs, and I thought that my phone was enough, but watching him and Robert's phones just like constantly just glowing the entire time, like like in a way, it's like the silverware is just shaking on the table essentially because the phones would never shut the hell up. It was a great time though. Did you have any other topics you want to talk about, Matt?
Rapunzel and Realm of Pure Spirits. Yes, Rapunzel can dodge removal. Sorry, answering your question from
TC
Twitch. Yeah. I feel like there was one other one, but I don't remember. And we are already at the hour mark, so if anyone has any kind of final questions, make sure to type them in the chat now. But do either of you two have any closing comments you'd like to add, or any kind of final topics to discuss?
Any shout outs, David, or anything like that?
Shout
Maybe,
out to whoever's awake in Europe. Well, I guess people are gonna watch this on YouTube anyway. But yeah. I hope season 2 is gonna be
And
good.
no, you can't stone to death Arthur.
But yeah, go ahead and throw some real questions. I hate all of you. Real questions.
Just getting trolled.
Yeah.
It's like a rules question Cosmore meme up in the Twitch chat right now. That's always great to see.
Can I remove Cheshire Cat from the game with Dark Alice's effects? Yes.
Yes.
It's an effect that uses the chase. It's a triggered ability.
So you can be like, "Whoa! What's new, pussycat?" No. No, no.
Whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Singing, Matt.
I got you on that reference.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I broke friends? What? I broke someone's friends. I'm sorry.
Friends?
I had no intention of doing that.
Oh, Matt, by the way, did you drink a beer tonight?
No, dude, I'm also just on my
Wow,
deathbed,
come on,
sick
guys.
with, like,
You
Chris.
made me go to the shop to buy some
Do you regret it?
Thirsty Ferret. It's alright. It's not good.
Didn't regret
like 4
it.
a.m.
Just-
so-
Dude, I took meds. I can't drink. We talked about this. I mean, I
It's
could.
disappointing.
Oh, Matt, do we want to do that? Not do meds and
Oh.
drink. No, don't do meds and drink. That's bad for you kids.
David,
That's
what's
terrible.
your favourite Matt Cosmore meme? Probably all the ones I make. They're the best
When
ones.
when is the
The
next
fairy
time?
one was actually legit.
Fairy King
When is the
Cosmore.
next time I'm coming to Gamers Gauntlet? I don't know, Matt. When's your next event?
We have our boxes event this weekend, and we have our holiday event the 27th or whatever that Saturday is.
The 26th.
26th, I think.
Yes, the 26th.
Yeah. Judge Life is going to be very, very busy for me starting in this week.
I think TCC 710. I'd probably say I'm going to try to come out more to the Michigan area in the new year. The month of December is literally like the worst time of the year for me because, get this, it's my wife's birthday, then my mom's birthday,
Oh, Lord.
then Christmas, my anniversary, and then the new year.
Wow.
Parties.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Five excuses to get
one
drunk.
of the rough ones. Yeah, right. Also, Matt, you should try and I don't know if we want to. Yeah, I'll just tell the chat now that we're planning on doing some special for Dark Depths soon, a special edition called Drunk Depths.
Are we actually going to
Oh,
pilot
yes.
that for crying out
It's
loud?
like-
We
gonna be-
should meet up at an event and do that.
It's going to be
Just
Drunk
get in
Depths.
some bar, just bust out some cards.
And
Lord.
on this episode, it will be exactly what it entails, Drunk Depths, and we'll conduct the show in the same manner and talk about stuff. And if anyone in the community wishes to participate in drinking with us and chat for a special event, we'll be down to do it. So I will force Matt to do it.
I
Will you
will
guys
do
be
it.
going
I get.
to the Pasadena? Sorry, Skylight Fire question.
Oh,
Who's
what
going
is
to
it?
the World GP in
Nope.
If somehow I can find, if I can get, if the rest of the Team Ogre guys want to like drive out there like carpool style, it's possible for it might be possible for me to go Pasadena. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
I'm planning on going, but I've not booked flights yet, so...
Are you sure it's safe to have people who probably know stuff not publicly known live and drunk? Yes. TDMCP, yes. It is completely okay. And I'm so you see, look at this reception. Is everyone wants to participate and be part of Drunk Depths. So I have to decide if how much pre-gaming I want to do beforehand, and then like how much to do during the show. Because the show will probably go on a little bit longer than expected because, I mean, 1 hour probably won't be enough, especially if we've been. That's where like the pre-gaming is going to come into play.
Unless you're a super lightweight.
We just get a bunch of 11% and go from there.
I mean,
Bourbon barrels.
I'm
Let's
just
do
gonna
it.
say I might break out the tequila for that episode.
And to also answer the question is for the Pasadena, California. That's being ran by a different TO technically, so I will not be at
That's
either
run
of the
by
California
Core TCG.
events.
Okay, yeah. So, and actually,
Yep.
I think that I heard. I
And
think
there's-
Matt knows the head judge for that. It's going to be. Is it?
Has Hedge been announced?
Has it been announced?
Not that I know.
Not that I know. I mean, I know you know Matt who it is, but I don't know if we're supposed to say who it is. I don't know if you'd appreciate
For which one?
for the isn't the Pasadena one that's run by Core TCG? That one.
Yes.
Would you appreciate?
Well, we're waiting to see. We're
I'll
waiting
wait.
to see how that goes.
Oh wait. Because, I mean, yeah, it's let's go. Okay, Skylight Fire just went ahead and said, yeah, I believe it's going to be vegan as well.
Yep. We're trying to find a way to set that up. So we'll details on that to come soon. Whenever I get in contact with him and figure out all this stuff.
Yeah, I've been PMing him as well because he asked me for some help about random stuff. But actually, Matt, we'll have to talk to Chris about making a new banner for Drunk Depths.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe I'll open it up to the chat that they can tell me what type of alcohol to do a shot of. I think I would be willing to do that. I mean,
I
Everything.
have no
Oh.
comment about the availability of a judge test at the Pasadena WGP.
I would just assume no for now. I would assume no. Because, I mean, if it's being ran by someone else and this is speculation on my part because I don't know the plans of Matt and Robert, but if it was me asking that question, I would say that no, because if it's ran by someone else, Robert or Matt are probably not going to be there, and those are the people that would be able to administer the test. So unless there's some kind of special thing for that, I would just assume no.
Well, technically, I'm not even allowed to yet. It's strictly Rob.
Oh,
at
really?
this point
Oh,
for the
okay.
United
See,
States.
shows how much I know right now.
If you're European, there's apparently going to be a European judge program, but I've
Buy
only
my
heard
ticket.
like one rumor.
Buy my ticket, crashing at David Hartley's.
So, all
Sleep in the
right, guys.
couch.
Final questions. Anything else in Twitch chat? Let us know.
Yeah, spam it out real quick if you got one.
Otherwise, thank you for joining us. Like I said, we try to do this every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's just a nice way to talk about recent events or kind of get new information out there. You know, a lot of us are getting very excited for, well, Christmas, holidays, all that good
We're going to
stuff,
have a
New Year's.
Christmas special episode.
Oh dear,
Maybe we
that's.
should.
I don't know what we're gonna do about that. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do one over like the weekend or something. I don't know.
Maybe like Saturday.
Sons of Claus Cosmo.
Holiday is gonna be super busy.
Why?
Actually, I mean,
One of my favorite questions ever. Why is Matt always wearing a hoodie? Because he gets so cold all the damn time. Literally all the
Yeah,
time.
for those
Is
that
it
don't
snowing
know-
where you guys live?
No, actually, it's been like
not
crazy
right now.
warm. Like,
Because it never snows where I live anymore.
it only rains.
Not since I was a child.
but yeah, for those that don't know, I always wear a hoodie and beanie, even in the dead middle of summer. So
See,
I am literally always cold. And actually, one of my favorite photos, Tyler was a sweetheart and gave me his hoodie to wear while we were at Luxburger because I was cold.
That was hilarious.
Aww.
Cute.
Chum, I'm not going to have Luxburger with you this year coming up? Wow, that is
Uh,
heartbreaking.
actually, that's something.
I need onion rings.
shit. It's like, yeah. So basically, David, right now in Wisconsin, the past like week, it's been like 10 Celsius, which is insane. Which is insane for this
Oh,
time
you're
of year.
converting.
Because usually it's
Yeah,
like
it's December. It should be like knee deep
it should be like negatives.
in snow.
Any tips for control players?
Test.
For Lucian for life. That's
Play counters, counter cards.
control. I don't even think you have to play counters right now.
Nah, it's a bit slow unless you play
I
fast.
assume that you're not, as a control player, assume that you're not going to have many stones to work with because of how fast games are going. So
60
personally, what I've been doing is playing an exorbitant amount of low drop removal. Like, the cheaper the cost of removal, the better. So, and then the cards that you do play, like, try and get, like, pick cards that will give you, like, immense amounts of value. Like, if you have to tap out on your turn 3, maybe it's a good idea to play the new Machina and go get a bow and then drop bow down. So then you can do something.
Scorn if I was playing a control deck.
Oh, I 100% say if you're playing control and you're playing
Scorn.
dark, play Scorn. I mean, that literally like has saved my butt. Like, they're on the play and they just play like a sprite, and I'm like, kill the sprite or get a glimpse at it at the hand. I'm like, Scorn. Oh, I pulled the Lancelot out of their hand. My game is saved for 2 turns.
Isn't global warming supposed to make England colder? Somehow, I don't think that's how global warming works. But
Could have fooled me.
yeah, I mean, it would be. I don't know. I would like England to be a bit warmer. But that's just me.
At Lucian
I mean,
for Life,
I don't live near any rivers, so it's fine.
at Lucian for Life. Actually, if you want to PM me, my name's Tyler Norris in the Facebook group. I can talk to you more about
No,
control
his name's
stuff.
Caleb Norris.
No, that's wrong. Wrong.
Nah.
Definitely wrong.
Message him questions about Feria. He loves it.
But if you want to talk about it,
Oh, did you notice the
Or I can
the
Skype you.
Excalibur, the reprint in the new sets text is different.
I actually haven't read it really.
Yeah, or it's slightly different. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it pretty much says there's no confusion now between what it used to be.
Oh, good. It's about time.
TDMCP. 60 degrees is cold for you guys. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you've ever been to like where Matt and I live, but in Wisconsin, it can get to like negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So, like 90 degrees colder than what you think is cold.
Yeah, we're. I think thankfully we're supposed to have a pretty mild winter this year, but I'll wait till we get
I'll
towards
believe it
spring
when
to
I
figure out if that's
frickin'
going to happen
see
or
it.
not.
Oh my god.
Was it the last winter that was negative 40, or a winter before that we had wind chill of negative 40 or something stupid like that?
Yeah, when the wind, it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it's like,
Yep.
if you're going to be outside, be sure to have your skin covered, or you're going to die. Like, like
so
David,
I
they
mean, we
have
have-
those warnings. Like, if your skin is exposed for more than 15 minutes outside, your skin has a chance of freezing.
Wow, you can die quite easily then.
Yeah.
You're not even Canada. Wow.
Right? I mean, Wisconsin, I've been told, Wisconsin's essentially turn.
I mean, it is.
We are the nicest people in the United States.
Yeah, DP Grim. My knowledge of global warming and how atmosphere and stuff and wind, it's kind of limited at the moment, but
He hasn't
I can understand
finished
what you
his
mean with the Gulf Stream.
meteorology classes.
Yeah, I
David's gonna be a
don't
weather
study
girl.
meteorology, clearly.
You'd be a great weather girl. But I think that's.
Always raining.
I think that's.
'Cause you eat cheese.
Yes, I do eat cheese.
So day 2 is Kaiju.
Please and thank you.
No, day 2 of all the AGPs will be a fun event for everyone to look forward to. Actually, they're all tied to ARG events one day. 1K, or what's the name? Yeah, they use the 1K 1-day term for Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, it won't be that, but it'll be
Something along.
1 day, whatever they're going to call it for Force of Will. So it'll be great that they'll have
Fun stuff.
you know, come Saturday for the main event, stay till Sunday for the secondary event, and still make it home to work on Monday. Or if you're like me, you fly out at 4 a.m. Monday morning, and then go to work for a 10-hour day. So yeah, those are always great days. And the Twitch chat is just running wild with Kaijudo stuff. So rest in peace, Fresh Ave. Shout out to Kalima, and that's all we got for today.
Kalima. So I was next to you when you did that.
That was a good time.
I'm completely clueless, but that's fine.
Okay, inside.
Yep.
We've known each other.
You, don't worry about
it. We knew
it.
each other before this game.
Before Force of Will.
Yeah, so.
All right, so thank you again, David Hartley, for joining us all the way from the UK, staying up till 5 a.m. 5? Almost whatever time it is.
Early.
Nearly half.
5:30 in the morning or something? Gosh.
Go away. Sleep in. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, whatever.
Us,
Yeah, I'll
stay up way too late.
Skype again with you guys some time to.
Yeah.
Yep,
sure.
definitely have you in for another one. Tyler Norris as well. Thank you for joining us. As always, shout out to Chris Durand, who hopefully will be feeling better.
Yeah.
And as always, I'm Matt Cosmore. Thanks for watching us on Twitch, guys. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at Force of Will US, and you can follow us on Twitter at FOW101.
Also, Force of Will UK.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, make sure to hit subscribe or check out one of our other video series. And don't forget to stop by the Force of Will US website for articles, a helpful database, and more.